is going on, everybody? It is your boy, the Bad Diggy Dizzle. Pete, it's funny, I said this right before we went live that my kid was going to call me when this happened, and sure enough, he's calling me. But I do want to say, guys, what's going on, everybody? It is your boy, Baddog. Actually, going to talk a little Yankee baseball. I'm excited tonight. I got my man Pete Simonetti from NYY News TV and House. We're going to talk some Yankee baseball, talk about what they have and have not done in the offseason. Let everybody know about your YouTube channel, Twitter, whatever other social media you have. Plug your channel. Let people know where they can find you.
Of course, man. So NYY News TV on YouTube. Definitely follow it. January, we got some really big things coming out. It's going to really be a hub for everything Yankee fans. A lot of podcasts will be running on it. Brand new podcasts that will be coming over to our thing, NYY News TV. Live pre-games, post-games. It's just going to be terrific. It's so much to talk about. It actually has been so much work to actually get up and running and get it going, and it's just about there now. We'll have a trailer reveal pretty soon on the channel. That channel is NYY News TV, and it's going to have everything out there about who's joining and what it's going to look like and history of the channel, of NYY News, and all that fun stuff. And, of course, again, on Twitter, at Simonetti Source on Twitter.
Nice. You can also find, I put the link to Pete's channel right in the description. So you guys go over there. Definitely sub him up. If you're a Yankee fan like me or know about me, you definitely want to sub Pete up because honestly, we're pretty damn similar when it comes to our feelings on the New York Yankees. As a matter of fact, I think somebody mentioned Pete, or somebody mentioned me to Pete, just said, you got to check this guy out because you're very similar. So, there's no doubt. Just for fun breaks. Thank you for the super chat, brother. He says, my God.
Just for fun breaks. What's going on, man?
Well, who else we got in the house? Let's see. L.A. Lou, the Kermit, Nick, Evan Spitzer, Gabriel, Luna, Cameron, Bell, Big Ball, M.H., Punkum, Alex Liptak, Jake Raines, Leo Lambert, Edward Artorian, Dan D. There he is. My man, Dan, what's going on? So, we're going to start my favorite player of all time.
Oh, no. I know what's coming, guys. 40 feet from home plate. The tag is missed.
Pete, I want to ask you a question. Gary Sanchez.
Oh God.
But I hate him. I can't stand it. I can't do it. I can't. I just can't stand the guy. I can't. He's got a punchable face. Like I don't like. I can't stand him. So I want to ask you this because you probably get this on your channel. There are some people that absolutely love this guy. They love him. Oh, you're too hard on Baddog. He's a good catcher. Can you tell me, because maybe it's just me and my blind hatred towards him, what the hell do people see in Gary Sanchez that I am not seeing?
It's funny, Bad, because you look at everything, and trust me, man, I have had this conversation so much over the last just couple of days alone. You look at Gary Sanchez, and immediately, for some reason, and it's weird because he plays for the Yankees, so keep this in mind. The one thing that fans bring up immediately when it comes to Gary Sanchez is, well, if you get rid of him, how do you make up his production? What production? So right now, what you're doing as a Yankee fan is you're basically saying, well, we can't replace a horrible catcher. Let's be real. Even if you're like, I don't have the same hatred as you do for Gary. I don't like him. I want him off the team. Go be a DH somewhere. This Yankee team should not have a catcher. We gave all these opportunities to. And mind you, Ben, I'm gonna give you some help here too when you have this conversation. Going back to about, I think it was 2015. I read a scouting report on Gary Sanchez right before he came up as a top prospect, doing great. In that very scouting report at MLB.com, the person writing it questions his heart about being a catcher and putting into work. That was back then. Now, I remember when I originally put out the news that he came to spring training heavy. He was out of shape. Joe Girardi was livid. Leadership was livid about it. Got a hard time about it. Then it came out with A-Rod talked about him being lazy. Former coaches talked about there being an issue there. And I don't understand what Yankee fans are looking for. I do a new thing on my channel, man. I say, guys, say it with me. Defense is production.
Mm-hmm.
Defense is production. We can pinpoint and look at the little plays, but let me make it even easier. Towards the end of the year, the 3/5 of the Yankee rotation did not want to pitch to Gary Sanchez. That was Corey Kluber, obviously Garrett Cole, and Jordan Montgomery stopped pitching to him towards the end of the year. You have also a catcher who you can't start in a game one because your ace refuses to throw him. Now, you could point blame on leadership maybe. Maybe Boone should have stepped in early on and said, you guys got to make this work. Let's try to figure something out. But we know Boone's not a leader like that. So it's up to Garrett Cole to say, look, I'm not comfortable with him. I'm not going to pitch to him. There is no way in hell. And then there was the report that came out that goes, well, the Yankees were trying to move him, but they couldn't find a replacement. I'm a little confused because I think there was about 3 or 4 signings and trades of catchers over the last couple of days. Jacob Stallings went to the Marlins, which is a hell of a pickup. And the first thing fans will say was, well, he doesn't hit enough. He's the best defensive catcher in baseball. The Yankees desperately need a defense catcher.
What?
They desperately need a defensive catcher.
I'm not going to be lifelong.
On top of that, they need somebody else. You had Roberto Perez move on. You've had a lot of guys move on that could at least catch. Whether or not you want, and here's another thing too. They talk about, oh, well, the home run ball. They just traded for Joey Gallo. Does he not make up that production? He makes up that production. The Yankees are still going to go out there and likely add a bat or two. What production are you missing? Look, it's going to be more valuable to the Yankees to have a defensive first catcher in this moment. Simple as that.
Yeah, this is my thing with Sanchez. He doesn't run. He's lazy. He doesn't catch. He's lazy. He swings and misses constantly. The guy has hit 201 over the last 4 years combined.
That's right.
He drove in 54 runs this year.
But, Bad, hold on a second. Let me be a regular Yankee fan here. But he's the best offensive catcher in the league, so you can't get rid of him.
But he's not. His production, listen, he had 383 at-bats or something this year. 23 home runs. The other 360 at-bats, the guy drove in 18 runs without hitting a home run, which tells you there is no production. And I'm sorry, there is more to baseball than home runs.
100%.
This guy, and I don't like WAR. I'm not an analytical guy. I'm not a statistics guy. I don't really like this crap because I just like to watch a game, and I know fundamentals when I see them or when I don't.
Right, of course.
Even his WAR
is not good.
The last 2 years combined is 0.4. So
the funny thing is,
20 games anyway.
Well, you got people that like to bring that up, right? So some people they get a little slick with it. They go like this. Well, in the American League, he was about 7th. Okay, he's mid-pack. Now do both leagues. And then he falls to about 19th.
Yeah.
18th, 19th. So even with that, but that's not defense. That's just his bat doing that for him. That has nothing to do with defense. If his defense was good, his WAR would be a little higher up. He is a horrible catcher. And you're right. I only focused on catching. I'm not also focused on, you said, the passed balls. I'm not focused on the strikeouts. And then he walks to get a damn ball, and the guy's at first base already. Yep. How about the blunders all season on the bases that Yankee coaches feel like we can't call anybody out? How about that too?
He does more harm than good, in my opinion. It's just, and it's because of Aaron Boone. And somebody brought this up a while ago, or maybe I brought it up. I don't even remember where I heard this from, or if I came over there. But when Girardi left, this happened.
Yeah, and Tony Pena.
Yes, because they were hard asses.
Very much.
And that's why they got rid of Girardi, because, you got to coddle the players. Yep. Well, coddling the players don't work. Yeah. You mentioned that a writer or something said that was lazy in 2015. I've told this story before, and I'm not going to mention his name because, he's still in the league. But there was a pitcher for the Yankees. It was in the minor leagues at the time. And he said the same thing. Yeah. Did the same thing. This is back in, I want to say, 2014, 2015. It was somewhere in there. Guys said they'd rather throw to J.R. Murphy. They said Sanchez is ultra talented, but he's lazy. Nobody wants to throw to him. And again, that goes back to the minor league days because I asked about him since he was such a big prospect.
Yeah.
He said the same thing. He said nobody wants to throw to him. He's lazy. They'd rather throw to J.R. Murphy.
Yeah.
I just don't understand what the hell the Yankees seeing this guy. And if he's so good, how come he doesn't get any at-bats in the postseason? How many at-bats did he have? Not this year because they only played one game, but against Tampa, I think he started one game. They started Higashioka. Yeah. So how can they say they have faith in him if they can't even play him in the postseason? The thing is, their average in the postseason is 171 in the postseason.
He's nowhere near what you expected. And the funny thing is, like, people, you bring this stuff up. Here's the thing, though. If the guy was a good catcher all around, you could almost put up with some of the bullshit he does.
Right.
If he did, you could almost, trust me, I've had arguments with some of these Yankee fans that, oh, well, Jorge Posada wasn't him. Are you out your mind? Are you out your mind? Don't even put those two in the same sentence.
No.
Posada had more game and heart in his one catching hand than this guy has in his whole body.
Yes.
That guy busted his ass as the catcher for the Yankees for years. Don't compare the two. And the difference is, and I also am not a big analytical person. Gary Sanchez, based on the analytics, I looked this up, his best defensive catching year was his first season. He's got worse year after year after year after year. And it's obvious, like you said, you don't need to have analytics. You could just watch the ball games and you go, yeah, this guy sucks. This guy's a catcher. Yeah, he is. He's the catcher by the way, one of the greatest sports organizations in the world. He's their starting catcher. They are telling the fans, and look, fans got upset yesterday when he tendered him a contract. That's okay. Because either the thing about the tendering thing is if you just release him, then you just dump him out and you release him. Yep. They can likely trade him. And this is Cashman actually being smart because if he actually trades him, he's smart. But if you wait till the CBA is done, hopefully it's a month, 2 months tops. Hopefully it doesn't go too long. But the expectation is that the DH will be in the National League. He does become more attractive. Mm-hmm. Because if I'm a rebuilding club, I'd say, hey, shit, I'll take a chance on Gary. He doesn't have to catch.
Yes.
Hey, Gary, go out there and pop 30. Maybe we could trade you midseason. Go out there and just focus on hitting. Maybe we'll catch you once or twice a week. That's it. So I do think Gary just really needs a change of scenery. He can't be under the spotlight. He's not that type of guy. In New York, you got to bust it out. Why do you think Gleyber Torres is getting the same treatment now? Yep. Because fans saw the Yankees not have the year they wanted, and Gleyber Torres would not bust it out. He struck out that one time in late in October, and he gets thrown out at first base. The ball behind him, he never moved.
Yep.
And what did the Yankees do? Reggie Willis turned his back and walked to the dugout. Nobody spoke to him. But Anthony Rizzo, Brett Garner, and Aaron Judge, where's the manager at? Where's the coaching at? And then the team has the balls to tell us, we need to find an enforcer. That's what your manager should be doing. Your manager shouldn't be a damn therapist.
I agree. I mean, there's no doubt. Let me get a couple of these real quick. Alien, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. Says if the Yankees need another trash can, they could have went to Home Depot and got one for $5. No need to re-sign Sanchez. What a waste of money. Dashy, thank you for the super sticker, brother. I appreciate him, my man. Dashy, what's going on, Dashy? How you doing, buddy? And L.A. Lou, what's going on, buddy? He says, you two know what true Yankee baseball looks like. When's the last time you saw it? Let me just say this about the manager's stuff. And Corey's not hustling. And New Yorkers, we want to win. I mean, that's pretty obvious. We're very passionate fans. We love our teams. We're very hard on our teams, but we want to cheer. All we ask for as fans is that you give 100%. That's it. That is all we ask for. I look at the 90s Knicks. They didn't win a title, but John Starks, Charles Oakley, Anthony Mason, RIP Anthony Mason. Fans absolutely, Ewing, absolutely love these guys because they gave their all every night, even if they did come up short. That's all we ask for. You look at the 90s teams. I go to 98 when people are like, oh, home runs this and home runs that. Nobody hit more than 28 home runs in the 90s.
That's right. That's right.
They won on base percentage in a World Series.
Yeah, that's right.
You
the philosophy was so different.
Paul O'Neill's driving in 115 runs, hitting 18 homers. Why? Yeah. Because he hit the damn ball all over the field. Because
hey, look, ball. You ready for this? This is this. Oh my God! There was a man on third with less than one out. He put the ball in play to second base. Where you're running. This is not magic. This is not magic, guys. This is common sense baseball. How many times? I think it was Man, my dad gave me a really good stat the other day. We were talking about this. I said, holy shit, is that true? And this, I think with a runner on second base with less than 2 outs all season, the Yankees had like under 10 doubles.
Yes.
I mean, they had some of the worst stats with men in scoring position that you could ever think about. That's how bad they were. And the things, yes, it didn't help that DJ LeMahieu played the year hurt, but even the batting lineups was so bad. The wild card game bad. I announced it on Twitter. I said, guys, he's throwing the white flag in. The 1 through 4 is all Evaldi had to worry about. After that, it was a joke. And during the middle of the game, I think it's the 7th inning, we were live that night for like 5 hours, the whole game. They went to it. I think it was the 6th or 7th inning. Man, oh man, I tell you, I said, guys, look at this. 1 through 9 is like 3 for 8. Well, no, 1 through 4 was like 3 for 9, something like that, or 4 for 9, and then 5 through 9 was basically hitless. They didn't have one hit. Yeah, and I'm saying this was so damn obvious. This guy, I love Anthony Rizzo. Anthony Rizzo's a lord ass. What is he doing leading off?
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. Boone never keeps the same lineup either. And guys get out of the mouth. See, this is the difference. And Lou, I'm going to get to the question in 1 second. This is the difference. Good managers manage on field. You don't worry about, oh, this guy, he's hit 5 homers in his last 4 games. The dude's 7 out of his last 17 or something, whatever. 5 home runs. Then you go, give him a day off because he didn't hit this pitcher well. But how do you know? Maybe the guy's in a slump when he faces the pitcher. Maybe that pitcher had great stuff that night. How do you actually go back and track at bats? Maybe the hitter was in a slump when he faced a certain pitcher and he was just not hitting anybody at that time. What happened in the past doesn't tell you what's going to happen in the future. If a guy is red hot and he's seeing the ball, you need to let him play. And Boone doesn't believe that. These guys hit the same. So they know when they come to the ballpark, I'm hitting third. That's right. I'm hitting second.
But Aaron Boone is on the record. He said he does, and this is a ball player. This is a guy who comes from generations of ball players. And I had this conversation with Glendon Rush, who's a former ball player, Kevin Karner, who's been around these guys his entire life. Ozzie Guillen Jr., I talked about, who knows a lot of these guys in the Boone family. And they all tell you, the Boone family, these guys all know baseball. Aaron Boone is on record. He said he does not believe in a player being hot and cold. He doesn't believe in that. That is as asinine as you get. Yeah. That is absolutely, you can ask this is the first time I've ever heard that a manager of a club says, well, you see when he does it. Look at him for an example. When Luke Voit came back from injury, he was hot. What did he do? He benched him in the Oakland series 2 games, and he got cold. And then he's out of the lineup for good. I say, what the frick just happened? And I can't imagine how the player feels.
Yep.
Get me off the team already.
That's when Rizzo was out with COVID protocol. They brought Voit back. Voit was killing it. And then they put Rizzo right back in the lineup. I'm like, you have to let Voit ride this hot streak
the crazy thing is, too, at the moment, you had Stanton, who was capable of playing the outfield, and they keep putting Gardner in center field. And Voit just sitting there saying, guys, what the hell are we doing? What are we doing here? It's just it's a train wreck. It really is. It's a train wreck, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully after the CBA goes through, is agreed to, maybe we'll see some moves.
Yeah. Anthony Medina, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. He says, hey, Baddog, I'm a new subscriber to your channel. Just wanted to show support. Anthony, I appreciate it, buddy. I see you on Pizza all the time. So I see Anthony over there all the time. I appreciate it. This is why I like see all the Italians are in here. Yeah. Got Anthony, but they got Tutto right here. Tutto from Italy. Grazie, paisa.
Hey.
Look at Kevin the Legends. Drop by office to pay our proper respects and to slap all them slimy Eagle losers out there. And we whooped their ass, Tutto. Giants haven't had a lot to cheer about, but being able to beat the Eagles is a good one. So to get back to L.A. Lewis' question, when is the last time you can remember seeing real Yankee baseball?
Oh man,
is it 2017? Because that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I would say 2017 because that team wasn't expected to win.
Nope.
And I gave Joe Girardi a lot of crap during that time because of the horrible play in the postseason, but the Yankees made it up. I remember listening, and I remember I think it was Todd Frazier came out, and he said that even though they won that game, Girardi walked in the back with his head down. He's very upset. He was very upset that he didn't make that move quick enough. He knew it was a mistake on his end. And I remember Todd Frazier telling them, we're going to win this series. You know, he told the whole team, he said, look, God, we're going to win this series for you. Don't worry about it. We're going to win it. That was a good club. They did a lot of the good things right. They moved runners over. You know, Joe Girardi is one of those guys that proved he could handle both. The Yankees don't want him and didn't want him because he is not a yes man. Right. He is not going to sit back and go, yes, the nerds can run the club. No problem. He had his binder with him. People think there was analytics in there. No, there was matchups in there. That's what was in there. He went off the basic knowledge of understanding when I played ball, there was guys I just didn't hit good. And if the numbers show that, that's typically what it actually was. He didn't go by, well, this guy's launch angle is really significant. You know what I mean? You know, and again, those numbers are okay, but there's a way of managing that. There's still some guys that do it well. Dusty Baker knows how to do it. Tony La Russa knows how to do it. Kevin Cash, Alex Cora. Yankee fans hate him, but he handles it well. Alex Cora runs his ball club. Yep. So does Kevin Cash. They run their team. And if you watch them, they strike out just as much as the Yankees do. Yep. But they do the little things when it's needed.
Correct.
They can move guys over. When was the Yankees had, I think, their first sack fly after like 30-plus games this year. It was a stupid number. And it's numbers that you would sit there and go, no, that's not right. And then you look it up like, holy shit, it is.
Yeah.
It is right.
Yeah.
And that's what we sat through all year. And I tell you, since, I got more on this and NY News TV and we're trying to build this thing up so big and so much work has gone into it, I've always followed the Yankees, but I've never – I guess I've never done it to a level that I'm doing now. And this year, I'll be honest with you, was friggin' miserable.
Yeah.
Miserable to watch.
Yes, it was. Somebody actually put when I put, by the way, we're talking Yankee baseball, Pete Simonetti of NYY News TV on YouTube. Make sure you guys subscribe to him. Link is right in the description. And I'm sure my mods will drop his link to his channel, but make sure you subscribe to him because this guy covers the Yankees all year long.
All day.
I love talking to him. And like I said, when the spring comes around, I plan on getting more into Yankee stuff. And of course, I'd love to work with Pete again because we did do easy for me to say. We worked together on his channel real quick. Just kind of did like a taped video, but I've told you guys I started like a little Yankee podcast on Saturday mornings, and Saturday mornings just not good. I want to sleep, so it's just not a good time. And everybody else can sleep. So I'm thinking like in the Giants off season, maybe a Friday night or something where I told you I would talk and maybe I'd bring on some guests. But I would definitely like to look at them again. But make sure you subscribe to Pete right in the description. With Girardi, man, it's again there's a lot of things. There's analytics that go in baseball, and I understand analytics are a nice tool, but you can't build your team on analytics alone, especially when you're bad at it. The Yankees,
that's a great point.
Stop with the analytics. You're not good. We're not Tampa. We don't need an opener. Why do we need to get cute?
Oh God, I don't even want to talk about the whole opener situation. You even go back to that one year when Kevin Cash was saying, "Great, they're giving us the series." Davey Garcia, what did he throw? How many innings did he? 1 1/3, and then they bring in Jay Happ.
Yeah.
He should have been fired then.
Yep.
If he was controlling anything, bad, we know this. You've saw more baseball than I have. But I've seen a significant amount of baseball year after year after year, obviously. When a manager makes a mistake that big in the postseason, if he's making those calls and those shots, they are gone. Gone.
Yep.
And the type of things Aaron Boone is doing, there is such a disconnect between the Yankees front office and the fan base that after the year, everybody expected Boone would go. Now, during the walkover, I told everybody, I said, he's not going nowhere because I know this organization now. I know him. The first thing they did, they couldn't wait to announce that Boone was back. Not only was he back, he was back for 3 years with an option for a fourth, and he got a raise. A raise for what? Exactly. Yeah. Please, somebody. Oh, they got some wins. They're the friggin' Yankees. They could win with a goat being the manager. They could have a broomstick as the manager with a mustache on. And they'd win ball games. They got good talent. They have good talent. The problem is they need somebody that gets these young guys in shape because enough is enough. Gleyber Torres, when he made that play, this easy. Hey, Glaber, come here. Sit down over there. You're done.
Yep.
All year I let you get away with this. You are done. Aaron Boone had the balls, and this is what gets you mad about our beat writers too that we have. They're not the voice of the fan like they're expecting to be. That's not who they are. After the game, Aaron Boone said, this is October 3rd, guys. October 3rd. He did this all year long. Well, I talked to him, and he felt bad about it. Felt bad? Aaron, who gives a shit what he felt? What did you do about it? Right. What have you done about it all year? Nothing. You gave the guy a cupcake, patted him on the back, and said, I'll see you tomorrow, buddy. It's a joke. This is the same manager that said he got bullied by an umpire.
And this is why things don't change. I say the same thing. I don't care if you're down 11-3. That's no excuse. Run. I say this all the time. It takes
not hard.
No talent.
Nothing.
No talent to run hard. It just takes effort. We appreciate
it.
I said the same thing. I would have yanked his ass out of the game so fast his head spun. And you know what? That'll send a message to everyone on that team. You know who did that? Billy Martin did it to Reggie Jackson.
Of course.
Back in 1977, right? Reggie Jackson is as big a star as they got in the game in 1977. Billy Martin said, I don't give a damn who you are. You don't hustle you out. Bobby Cox did it to Andrew Jones.
That's right.
Yanked his ass out of the game. You don't want to run after the ball, got behind you. You're out of the game.
Yep.
That's what you do. I don't care if you embarrass the player. The player is embarrassing himself by not running. It's his fault. So
that's one thing. That's one thing I tell Yankee fans this all the time. You can knock Brett Gardner all you want. Name me one time that man didn't bust his ass on that field.
Jeter was a Hall of Famer.
And you're right. What's so hard? You're 100%. What is so hard about doing exactly that? What does it take out of your day to bust it down a line? We've seen so many players do this throughout the year, throughout this season though. We're not even talking last season, year before, but this year was miserable. The amount of guys who did it between Glaber and Sanchez more than anybody, obviously. But it's just insane that we have gone year after year ever since. I remember when 2018 came. And I announced that Boone was signing with the Yankees. And I told everybody, all right, give him time. Let him get in there and do his thing. In 2018, let me tell you, I defended this man time and time again. I said, give him time. Let me get defended. Mid-season, I start saying to myself, this team looks like they are super unprepared. Yes. They're missing ground balls out the bat all the time. 2019, the same thing. They come from spring training. And you're thinking, what were these guys playing? Tiddlywinks? What the hell were they doing all spring training? What were they playing Jenga? And then what were they doing? They were playing Twister? What are these guys nuts? I'm saying to myself, they can't catch a pop-up. These guys don't know what base to throw. How many guys? They are Joe Girardi's team. You never saw that?
Nope.
Girardi, you could just tell. Look what Joe Girardi did. Yeah, he might have went far with some things. Mike Mussina was eating too much candy. He said, take the candy machine out.
Yep.
He said, do that shit on your own time. You're not doing it while we're on the ball field. The guy was getting paid millions.
Well, comics, I'm wearing this. Somebody got me this shirt.
Oh, I like that.
Somebody got me this.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm a big Wu-Tang fan, or Wu-Tang fan. But yeah, little Method Man Yankee shirt.
Little Method Man Yankee shirt. I like it.
Yep. Let me get through a couple of these real quick. Tutto, grazie, paisano. He says, my father always taught me all men are created equal, but some work harder in and off season. We live and breathe to execute our playbooks into perfection.
I love it.
There's no substitute for hard work. I don't care if you're a professional athlete or you're just a Joe Schmo on YouTube. There is no substitute for hard work. Irish Rover, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you, my man. He says, Joe Girardi was just like Billy Martin. He was a player's coach who took no shit. No, he did not. Yankees News and Ruben, I also see you on Pizza.
Ruben.
Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate that, my man. He says, how does Boone not believe in hot? Being a former player, analytics are great, but you still need the result-based stats. FIP, which you said the other day, and you do need to make the shirt. FIP you. I was at work when I was watching that, and I started cracking up. And I almost laughed. I'm like, that was just good. I like that. See, I'm like, I love the creativity. Like, that's good. FIP you. Come on. I'm sure so that could be a good segue right into what they're doing in the offseason right now.
This is not your Yankees, guys. This is not the Yankees we grew up in. I can't imagine. I say this all the time. Italians got a lot of pride. We're very prideful people.
Yes, this is a fact.
I can't imagine my father leaving me a Yankee club, and all I got to do is I don't have to be like him. I don't have to do everything he did, but I got to let the fan base know, look, guys, we got you, and we will do what it takes. I'm sick of the bullshit, Ben. I'm sick of it. This guy came out. Stick with me for a second because I might rant for a little bit.
Oh, go right ahead. The floor is yours, my man.
This guy came out the other day at the GM meetings. Matter of fact, he gets contradicted by his own GM. Well, guys, listen. This is Hal Steinbrenner, everybody. Listen up, everybody. If you guys remember the offseason, matter of fact, you know a boss never does this. Bosses don't do this. He goes, I told Brian at that deadline, you go out there and you get Gallo, and I don't care if we go over the limit. And you guys can ask him. Well, first of all, you're the boss. Why do we got to go ask somebody that's under you? That's already a problem. That's already a problem. But then Brian Cashman comes out and he says, well, you know, we stayed under the luxury tax at the deadline. You guys gave him 6 players for Gallo so they could pay. Hey, Hal, listen to me for a second. You also gave up Luis Cessa to get rid of money that was Justin Wilson. Yeah. That's how cheap. And then you're trying to front on people like, hey, look, I'm like my dad. I'm daddy. Don't worry about me. I'm just like daddy. Well, you know what? Take those analytics and again, FIP you. If that's what we're going to use it, FIP you. I can use it now. The reason I use FIP you, by the way, Robbie Ray signed for $23 million a season with the Seattle Mariners. The Yankees tried to acquire this guy 2 different times, got very close. And now all of a sudden there's Yankee propaganda out there saying he didn't want to come here. There's an interview with Robbie Ray in 2019 at the deadline. And they asked him, well, what would it be like playing in New York? The only thing he said was, you know, shaving my beard all the time would be annoying, but who the hell wouldn't want to play with the New York Yankees? I would love to pitch in a big city. That's exactly what he said. Now the PR machine is out there saying, oh, he never wanted to be here. That's why they never even talked to him. Let me tell you something. You know this. If George was alive, and I'm not saying you have to. I know people don't like that George was alive, but it's true because this is the Yankees that we loved, that we knew would do all it takes. There would never be a time where another owner could come into New York and say, oh, we're taking over now. We're going to throw the money. Let me tell you something. You notice, if George Steinbrenner was alive, ready for this, everybody? Max Scherzer would be a Yankee today, even if they didn't want him.
Yep.
There would have been no way in hell. He would have found out, hey, Cash, is that guy really interested to come to the East Coast? He is. Okay, go get him. What are the Mets? Move it up. We're the better team. He'd want to come here. He would be a Yankee fan. And I see Yankee fans going, oh, he's too old. What are we doing? Where is this mind? And you know what it is? And I'm not knocking younger fans. I'm not knocking them. They have every right to have an opinion and all that. The thing is, I don't think they've seen winning. No. I don't think they've seen enough winning. And the Yankees have created this monster to say, you don't need Carlos Correa. You don't need Trevor Story because Anthony Volpe is going to be here any minute. So the team that used to say year after year we're going to win, year after year it's going to be a World Series or bust, are now openly telling you, nah, it's not a bust if we don't win the World Series. It's okay. We can still see success there. We won't trade this certain guy to get this guy that can win right now. We'll hold off on that. We'll lose out on a guy like Robbie Ray, who, by the way, guys, has the greatest K-9 rate in history of Major League Baseball. You could have had that at the top of your rotation with Garrett Cole. Maybe 500 strikeouts if they're both healthy. Yeah. It's insane amount of numbers. And look what they've done so far. They've signed Jose Peraza, who probably regular everyday ball fans don't even know. That's what the Yankees have done. And they're paying $8 million to Gary Sanchez.
Two things here. Let me get this real quick there. LA Lou, thank you so much. Says Girardi won manager of the year for the Marlins. He got fired because he told owner Jeffrey Lurie to shut up and just and stop heckling the umps, not ESPN. Yes, that's really what it is with Girardi. He wasn't going to take any.
I'm going to put it easy for you. He got a set of balls.
Yeah.
Let's be real. What it
is.
He
had that as a player. Listen, that's the whole thing. To me, I don't know if there was any – one thing people get on Brett Gardner. Brett Gardner sucks. I don't like Brett Gardner. Listen, Brett Gardner's not what he was. Brett Gardner had a great career. Brett Gardner overachieved. But Brett Gardner
no doubt about it,
is a great clubhouse guy. Brett
100%.
Gardner is a guy that is tough as nails, hustles, gritty. He's a ball player. The Yankees don't have enough ball players. They got guy overpaid, fancy pants divas. I'm not running hard. I'm not going to run hard. I grounded out again. I'm not running hard. I struck out with the bases loaded. I don't care. I'm just going to walk back to the I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to punch a water cooler. I'm not going to get pissed off like Paul O'Neill. I don't care.
The best.
Oh, well, ho-hum, I hang my head. You know, this team don't have any balls at all.
No,
we need more players like Brett Gardner. We need that attitude, the guys that want to win. You mentioned
of course.
If you have to be like 21 years old at this point to actually remember the Yankees winning a World Series.
Yeah.
To actually remember them playing in a World Series.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you'd be 9 in 2009 if you were born in 2000.
Yeah.
So you're right. A lot of these fans have it. And I think this is a reason that Cashman and Hal is the way it is, because since when the hell do the Yankees have to settle? We are the Yankees. There is no settling here.
There is no settling.
You try to win every year. That is our tradition. That's why people hate the Yankees, because why the hell they spend all the money? They outspend everybody. They're buying championships.
Yeah.
Oh, well. People get pissed off because their teams don't do it. I don't hear Mets fans going, why do we spend $40 million on Scherzer? Why do we spend $314 million?
Let me tell you something. And you know this too. Every fan in Major League Baseball wants their team to spend. So when the Mets do it, somebody was like, who cares? No, who cares? Good for them.
Yep.
Good for them. I said it multiple times. Good for Steve Cohen for putting his money where his mouth is. He said when he comes in, he's going to look to make this team a winner. And good for him. He went out there and did it. Good for him. Get everybody you want. I hope they sign more at this point. Keep doing it.
Yeah.
Good job, Texas.
Yeah.
Texas could have stayed this year with a low $20-something million payroll. They had nothing on that payroll. They built a brand new ballpark. They got good young players, and they said, you know what? We're not going to sit and wait for a Jack Leiter to come up. We're not going to sit and wait for these top young guys to come up. We're not going to wait 2 or 3 years. You know what we're going to do? We're going to go sign the underrated Marcus Semien, who's extremely underrated. Extremely underrated. On top of that, we're probably going to overpay for Seager.
Yep.
We'll go get whoever we need to become a better team.
Yep.
And they went out there and put the money where it needs to be. Now, the Yankees have done that in many, many years. We know that. But I say this on my channel all the time. You could have, this offseason, with how many people were available via free agency and also trade that we knew was available, you could have a plan 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, 1E, 1F, and go on and on and on, and still have a good offseason. There's a chance they can still do that.
Yep. I
just don't see the Yankees spending money. Maybe after the CBA goes in and they increase a little bit. But remember, guys, Hal Steinbrenner voted to lower the luxury tax. What does that tell you? What does that tell you?
You don't want to spend any money.
Doesn't want to spend.
Since when is this? Yeah, the salary dump with Sessa made me laugh. I don't even remember if I did a video on that or live stream, and I said, what do the Yankees become? And Anthony, this is a good one here because I want to ask you about this, Pete. Anthony, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. He says, the Yankees have money and the prospects and have everything. They have to sign a free agent or trade for players. I don't understand what they're trying to do, but this new philosophy could blow up in their faces.
Yep.
This is what I want to ask you, Pete.
Yep.
The Yankee prospects, are they any good? Because we hear all these prospects. Esteban Florial and this guy and that guy. We don't develop our own players here.
Yeah.
We do not develop players anymore. People could say the Yankees bought championships. No, what the Yankees are able to do is pay their guys. Jeter farm system. The core four, the core five, Bernie, Pettit, Posada, Moriano, they all came up through it. Randy Jim Leyritz, part of a championship team, Gerald Williams. All these guys came up through, and then they added
even the role players.
They added a guy like Boggs. They added a guy like Gross.
Yep.
What happened to our prospects? Esteban Florial, he's supposed to be the next big thing. They give Hicks. I don't even want to get into Hicks.
Well,
Hicks is an Sanchez to me. I don't even want to go there. I hate Aaron Hicks. I hate Aaron Hicks. I hate Aaron Hicks. I can't.
I understand. You have every right.
But what is the deal with the prospects? Look, we hear all the time, oh, this guy's going to be good. This goes back to Ruben Rivera. This goes back to Ricky Leday, Phil Hughes, Ian Kennedy. Oh, these guys are going to be great. And then they get up and they stink.
Yeah.
What is the deal with the prospects?
You
know what? We never get to see them.
Yeah, well, that's actually one of the big keys there. So when you look at what the Yankees have done and what they do, and you look at a team like, let's even say the Dodgers for an example, because I don't want to say the Rays because the Yankees have a lot more money than the Rays do. So look at a team like the Dodgers. The Dodgers are not, or the Red Sox. These guys are not scared to call guys up. They're not scared to tell somebody, look, you're not playing, we're going to call somebody up. For an example, I had a lot of people all year. I said, what the hell is Estevan Florial doing in the minor leagues? I understand his minor league numbers didn't look cute. They called him up. All he did was hit 300. He has these strong wrists. He's super athletic, great center fielder, great speed. He flicks the bat out. And one thing that people love about left-handed hitters are guys that could crush the ball to opposite field because you could just flick the ball and hit a ball in the gap. He did that in his last game in Boston at Fenway. And what happened to him? He just disappears off the map. And all of a sudden, older Brett Gardner's getting more at-bats than he should. And they're putting Aaron Judge in center field just to make things up. They were playing good baseball when they had these younger guys up. That's when things started to catch a little bit of fire. They were going first to third. They were walking. Estevan Florial walks a lot. He walks. He steals bases. But when you look at what their farm system is right now, they do have a chance to keep some guys. But here's the thing I would say about prospects. Prospects are just potential, and that is it. Mm-hmm. They should never stop you from getting somebody. A prospect should never be the star of your ball club while he's in the minor leagues. And that's the problem here. God forbid you tell somebody Cedric Mullins is available. Oh, but they're asking for Jason Dominguez because they should. They're asking for Luis Gil and 2 other guys. Yankee fans will go, no way, you can't do that. You can't get Cedric Mullins, maybe a Brian Reynolds, because you don't want to trade Jason Dominguez, who, looks like he could be a talented ball player. But he's also 4 years away, and he's extremely raw. He can't even run bases yet. He's just been a professional.
He'd fit right in on this team, then. He can't run bases.
Yeah, they should call him up right now. But that's the other thing. The Yankees do not like to call these guys up. They're rushed. I talked to an advanced scout who I asked him this not that long ago. I said, when is a guy ready? What do you look for to see if a guy is ready or not? He said flat out, he said, Pete, if they perform well in AA and they do the little things, they could field the ball. You watch the intangibles that they have. You see if they can look ahead. Jeter did this great, right? He always knew what happened. If I go to my right or my left, I know what I'm doing. He always knew that. I know how many out there. If they do those little things, if they don't make a lot of base running errors, you can see they're good base runners. They hit the ball well. That is the ultimate test in AA. Not AAA, AA.
Yep.
Because AAA has a lot of your fringe guys, your guys coming back from injuries, guys that are just hanging on, organizational talent. AA is where you see this talent at. And a guy that the Yankees should have called up towards the end of the year to be their shortstop when DJ LeMahieu got hurt, instead of playing Andrew Velazquez. We know it's a cute story. I understand it's a nice story. Bronx kid, God bless him. Cool, I'm happy for him. Should have never been in the wild card game. Should have never played the last week or so when LeMahieu went down. Jose Peraza should have been a guy that got called up. I'm sorry, Oswald Peraza. Should have been a guy that got called up. Terrific numbers across the board. He could field with the – he's ranked the best fielder in the Yankees organization. He could field the ball like crazy. And guess what he has, Bad? You ready for this? Something the Yankees desperately need. 1, he's athletic. And 2, he has lightning speed. I talked to somebody yesterday and said, Pete, he could be on the same thing when it comes to what they did with Jeter. But the Yankees are not willing to do that. And the thing is, he even brought up to me because the fan base wouldn't accept it, 1, because this team won't go out and add to other positions. If the Yankees went out there and made a trade for a Matt Olson, maybe they get a pitcher in that deal too. Maybe they go out there and finally dump Gary to get a Wilson Contreras, who could very well be available. They can go out there and say, you know what, Aaron Hicks, we're kind of, we're going to shoot the shit with you because we're kind of stuck with you. But here's what we're going to do. Estevan Florial is giving you a run for his money, and he's going to platoon. And whoever takes over, takes over. Then you're the 4th outfielder. If the Yankees had a mindset like that, fans wouldn't be upset if they go, unfortunately, we're not going to go that amount with Correa or Story, but we are going to re-sign Aaron Judge long-term, and we're going to put Jose Peraza as short. We feel this kid's ready. We feel he could do it. We feel he can at least handle the position. Maybe then you go out there and you sign a Jonathan VR for the bench. These are all the moves that make this club better. They have to become more athletic.
Yep.
This is the same team that needs to learn. They haven't made a change yet. They had Odor playing third base. The guy never did it. You even got fans saying now, oh, guys, guess what? The way our lineup looks, we got DJ LeMahieu playing third base. Everybody, the best Yankee team has DJ LeMahieu playing second base.
Yep.
He's the best second baseman on the team. Gleyber Torres should not take a spot away from DJ LeMahieu.
Nope. You
got to field your best club. And DJ LeMahieu is a Gold Glove, terrific second baseman. He's not a Gold Glove third baseman, and he's not a Gold Glove first baseman. It's as simple as that. These are easy fixes. Everybody looks at the Yankees and go, they got no hope. No, they do got hope. They may not have no hope with Aaron Boone, but that's another story. But they got easy fixes they need to make. The bench is important. Having a catcher that can catch is important.
Yes.
Having somebody in center field that can actually run and move around is important. Having guys that can field the ball in the infield in their positions is important. This isn't hard. This isn't hard.
It also helps them at the plate. When you're out of position, you're thinking about, I mean, look at Torres. When Torres started playing second, he started hitting the ball better.
That's right.
Let me get through a couple of these real quick, and then we're going to talk about something else.
Yeah.
Yuri, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. He says, I'm still sick to my stomach that the Giants and the Red Sox have won more championships than the Yankees last World Series.
And look, can I say something about that real quick?
Yes.
Yuri, a great question. Think about what that team had up the middle. They had great players up the middle. Yeah. Good ball players up the middle. Yankees had it in 2009. Really have it. And look what they have up the middle now. Gary Sanchez, no shortstop, Gleyber Torres, and Aaron Hicks. Strong up the middle is very important. They don't have it.
It's terrible. Michael Allen, I saw him put this on your channel the other day. Thank you, Michael. He says, Meredith Marakovich's breast milk will be used for ice cream.
To save money.
My man, I don't know if my man named H is in here. He loves her. He's like, Meredith is thick. Meredith is thick. Hello, Yankee King. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Says Baddog and Pete. The problem is cash. You can't mix spending money and building from within, but if Hal wants to cut the payroll, why not trade away your big money players like Hicks, Stanton, DJ, and Chapman? The only thing I could say to that is I don't know people that want to take on these contracts.
That's the thing.
That's the toughest thing about the big contract.
You're not,
especially since these guys don't produce. Well, not Stanton. Stanton had a damn good year.
Yeah, he did. 100%.
He's always heard he don't produce.
Yeah.
You know why Hicks got paid? You know why Hicks got paid? Because he hit 8 home runs off the Boston Red Sox.
That's right.
That's why he got paid. He had 28 homers. He had an aberration of a year. The guy's never had more than 140 hits in a year. He doesn't even have 1,000 hits in his career. The guy stinks.
And he's also he's also one of the analytic love guys. They love the analytics for him. And on top of it, Brian Cashman, it's his ego. He got him and he goes, oh, look what I did. I'm going to resign him now. Brian Cashman has a very, very bad ego problem. Horrible ego problem.
He does. This is what I want to say. Let me get this real quick. And then to finish it off, LA Yankee, thank you again, buddy. I really appreciate it. Says Cash can't spend because he's scared of the fan backlash. That's why he signed DJ last year. And I was right. DJ wasn't the need at shortstop, or the need. Shortstop was a need. I can't get mad at them getting re-signed.
No,
I was happy. I mean, the guy should have won MVP, and then he won a batting title.
And on top of it, he played injured. I mean, that's confirmed now. You could see it all year. You could see he just wasn't the same. This
is what I want to say. We had that stretch after the All-Star break where we were like 30-11.
We were playing Boonie Ball. Remember that Boonie Ball?
We were playing baseball, people.
There was, not Boonie Ball.
Nobody stole more bases than the Yankees in that time. First and third, hit and run, making contact, sack flies, intangibles, little fundamental things. Get them on, get them over, get them in. It's how we won in 96. It's how we won in 98. It's how we won in 99. It's how we won back then. Yes,
that's right.
Home runs are great, but you can't always hit home runs. It's hard to do.
Can't depend on it.
You need to be able to score runs in other ways. And the Yankees, when they were having guys like Greg Allen, my camera's messing up on me. I can see shadows. When we had Greg Allen,
Yep.
Greg Allen sparked that. Tyler Wade, people, listen, I didn't like Tyler Wade, but you know what? As soon as Tyler Wade got time every day and got into rhythm, he ended up being a pretty damn good ball player. I like Tyler Wade. Fast, a young Brett Gardner is kind of what I equated him to.
He had a good year. He did. He had a good year. Don't be shocked if he goes on a little run in there and with Los Angeles. Don't be shocked.
We need more, like you mentioned. We need to get more athletic. We need guys that can run. We need guys that take the extra base. You can't just rely on station to station and home runs.
On my channel, we would always go over what could a plan B be, a plan C be. And one of the things I looked at when you look at all the players, you go, well, who makes the most sense for the Yankees? And I tell you what, when you really look at it, I said Starlin Marte actually does out of everybody because he's older. Oh, guys, you see the way the guy's built? This guy's going to be running hard till he's 40. He is jacked to the gills. Let me tell you, this guy is in shape as shape can get. And on top of that, he has everything the Yankees need. He's fast. He steals bases. Oh, my God. He's an actual leadoff hitter. The Yankees don't have one. They don't have your normal leadoff hitter that can get on base and steal second. The greatest thing about the 09 Yankees, what a top two. Jeter and Damon, they were spark plugs.
Yep.
They were spark plugs. They always, guess what? Can you imagine if the Yankees, and the hell we're just talking about Marte. He's a Met. Good job, Uncle Stevie over there. But you look at what they could have done. If you have two guys at the top of their order, even if DJ LeMahieu bats second, I know he hits a lot of ground balls, so maybe not the best position. But even if you got two decent guys that get a good on base percentage and can run a little bit, how many times does Aaron Judge and Stanton get to come up with men on base, with a man on second, a man on third? They'll get to do it all the time. That's the way it works.
Yep.
This team, it's like you saw the way they went all year. You're saying, well, they got no speed up there. Nobody can run. Nobody's going first.
Like you mentioned, why is Rizzo leading off in the playoff?
Oh, it's because oh God, he walks. So what? He can't go nowhere when he walks. I love Rizzo. I mean, Rizzo would tell you. I guarantee Rizzo's so Italian. He would tell you flat out. He would say, I'm a Gavone on the bases. What, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I can't. I'm not running.
Nah, too many cannolis.
This guy eats 2 pounds of pasta after every game. He's not a big fat guy, but he's a big guy. He's not out there saying, I'm going to bust it down the line, go first to third. I can't do it.
Yeah, it's great.
He runs harder than Gary, though, at least.
Yeah, I mean, my God, my 4-year-old runs harder than Gary. I can tell you that. He's faster, too, to be honest with you. He might be able to catch a little better, too. Yankees News and Ruben, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. In 2009, we had Gold Gloves at first, second, short, and third. We were the second highest batting averages and second lowest amount of strikeouts. And how many home runs did they hit that year?
Whew.
So think about guys that hit home runs, but they also hit for average. See, this is the thing. People are like, oh, like you mentioned earlier, the Rays strike out a lot, but they do little things.
Yeah,
they hit for, they find
not scared to bunt.
They drive runs in.
That's right.
And
they're not scared to bunt.
When you're a team built like the Yankees and you are not hitting home runs, you look dead. You look like you're not even trying.
Done.
And it's so easy to retire a team like that. It's so easy to set them down. I mean, we made everybody look like Sandy Koufax or Greg Maddux this year.
Oh, the worst. Harvey came out of nowhere.
Yes.
He was terrible all year. He shut the Yankees down. I said, man, look at Matt Harvey looking good. Then I had to smack myself in the head and said, oh, he's facing us. That's right. He doesn't look good. He's
also
facing the Yankees.
When we let Rizzo off, that kind of messed up the entire lineup. I'm like, why don't you have a lefty down in the lineup? It was like he had 6 righties in a row. What are you doing?
Bad. When I saw it there in the wild card game, I told my team, I said, man, this guy's waving the white flag. They're done. I said, I don't want to sound like, I'm jinxing the team immediately at the gate, but this lineup is terrible. Oh, if I was Evaldi, I would have said, great. I just got to get through 1 through 4. We're good.
Yeah.
That's it. We're done. That's it. We're fine. Don't worry about it, boys. We're good.
Well, yeah. I have a hard time understanding again, and this is the problem. The Yankees have not made any major moves. Like you said, there's still time. Obviously, they're going to have a lockout here in a couple hours. But once the CBA is agreed upon and they start getting back to operations and everything, maybe we do make some moves. But you can't sit there and bring everybody back and bring the manager back and, we fired Phil Nevin. And I'm going to tell you right now, Phil Nevin's send against the Red Sox, that ended the game. That was it. That took all our momentum away.
No doubt
you
about it.
Can't do that, especially when Stanton hits the ball, he hits it hard.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
ball's getting out there real quick.
Yep.
You don't ever make that.
Yep.
You never ever make that out at home plate. You can
Not
make the
at all.
last out at home plate, but you don't ever make the first out there. You don't make the second out there because you can
And
still.
he did it all year. You know,
Yeah,
the
again,
Yankees
that's
had
just bad
a
baseball.
rule. So this is even going towards their philosophy. One of their rules this year, and this has been widely reported now, was that they would run on contact with less than 2 outs at third base. And that's insane.
Yep.
Then you got to let these guys be ball players. You got to let these guys have somewhat of a mindset themselves. The ball players aren't stupid. These guys have been playing this game since they're children.
Yep.
They know. And to have the mindset that, okay, a ground ball is hit the third base with 1 out, you guys going to get caught up. What do you think? The guy's going to say, don't worry, give him a run. They're going to throw you out. They did it all year long.
Yep, it was terrible. It was terrible. The one thing I couldn't even help but laugh. It wasn't getting thrown out of home, but when Gary Sanchez ran to second, then he ran back to first.
Oh my God!
Yes. I'm like, what in the world are you doing?
Unbelievable.
How is it possible? Like, did he lose his direction? Did he need a GPS to figure out where the hell
he doesn't know where the hell he goes. He don't know what direction you're running.
Well, no, you don't know what
That's why he's always running back to the dugout.
He don't even run back to the dog. He just walks everywhere. I bet he runs it after. I bet he runs at a buffet after the game, though. First in line for that. Josh, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. He says, "Sup, guys? I don't know if it's been discussed already. I know it's a Yankee, but what do you think of what the Mets have done so far?" Pete just mentioned it. Good for the Mets.
I love it. Good for them. People are supposed to exactly, we're the Yankees. We gotta hate the Mets. Let me say it again. Good for the Mets.
Yeah, I don't hate the Mets.
Fans should be excited.
I root for them.
Should be excited.
If they're not playing the Yankees, I root for the Mets. I got no problem. The Mets fans don't like the Yankees because, it's a little jealousy. I mean, even my buddy Chris that I work with for the Giants, he's a Mets fan. He tells me all the time, yeah, of course.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to be honest right now. Yankee fans don't want to admit it. They're very jealous right now what the Mets are doing. They're wishing we should be doing the same thing, and they know it. And I'm going to use you guys know, all I do is Yankees. We all know for a fact that we wouldn't have been saying, Scherzer's old. How do you give him that much? We would have been doing cartwheels around our rooms.
Yeah, when Steinbrenner bought all our guys, we weren't going, Randy Johnson's old.
Oh, that's right, of course.
Yeah, Randy Johnson.
It doesn't always work.
Right.
You're the friggin' Yankees. That's the difference. You can live with a bad contract.
Yes.
You can live with it and keep moving. Other teams can't.
Right. Like Jacoby Ellsbury.
Yeah, that's right. That's
like
right.
Hicks. Like
Jared Wright.
Carl
Pavano. Remember that year?
Oh.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I remember that year. I think Aaron Small was one of our best pitchers that year.
Sean Chacon.
Yes. Sean Chacon for the Rockies. That's amazing. Yeah. I think Aaron Small and Sean Chacon combined were like 17-3. It was
crazy numbers.
Like that.
Crazy numbers they did.
Rashawn, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. Says Yankees have lost for evaluating talent. They either don't play prospects for fear they might fail and lose trade value, or they wait too long to trade them. Boy, that's a great.
Yep.
That is a great point. Which is probably why they don't play them, because I mentioned that earlier. Why the hell don't we play our prospects?
Yeah.
That's probably why. Because I feel like we do overrate our prospects, because you hear about all these kids. Oh, this guy's going to be great. This guy's going to be great. This guy's going to be great. When's the last time we brought somebody up from our own farm system and he was great? Gleyber wasn't. I mean, Gleyber, I don't know what the hell happened to Gleyber. I loved Gleyber. Yeah. And fell apart. But that was a club.
The juice ball.
Was a
That's what it was.
These guys were they're not our kids.
No.
It's just insane. But yeah, they have lost the ability for talent. We really don't judge. Judge is ours.
Yeah. Judge is ours. So we got Judge. Judge has been terrific. I mean, you can't be upset with Aaron Judge at all. Aaron Judge has done everything this team wants him to do, and I think it's kind of pathetic he hasn't been re-signed yet, to be honest.
I'll be honest. At the beginning of the year, when he got hurt, I thought he was going to. I said, I don't want to pay this guy big money.
Yeah, of course.
Because I was scared that this was going to. But he did. I still wouldn't give Aaron Judge 7 years.
No.
Maybe 5 with a 6-year option. But I don't want to. He's 29. He's not young.
Right. That's exactly where I would start. 6 and an option. Or 5 and an option makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
5 and an option makes a lot of sense.
$180 million or whatever. 5 years, $160 million, and a 6-year option. You can pay him a lot of money, but I don't want to give him 10 years.
If the Yankees want to keep this guy, don't let him hit that market. because I could see that he has the Giants written all over him. That team will give anything to get that guy over there. He's from California. Giants and the Angels got a lot of money. They will blow a lot of teams away to get a guy just. And you got to think about it too with Aaron Judge. His jersey sells like crazy.
Yep.
The guy's marketable. The Yankees make a shitload of money off of Aaron Judge. Shitload of money off of him.
They cannot let Judge. No, I'll tell you something else. I believe we talked about this on your channel.
Mm-hmm.
The Yankees cannot develop pitching. They have no clue. No. In my life.
And the problem is Cashman can't even get pitching.
Right. He can't do that either. In my lifetime, the Yankees have developed two good starting pitchers. Yeah. Two. We're going back to 76. I was born in 76. Yep. Guidry
and
Pettit.
Yep.
Oriano, failed starter, greatest reliever of all time. But after that, who have the Yankees developed as a pitcher that has been good?
Yeah, they haven't. They really haven't.
Nobody.
I mean, the only
Terry, Dave Island, Al Leiter. Is Al Leiter the best? Right. Jabba, Ian Kennedy, Phil Hughes.
Yeah.
We don't know what Davey Garcia is.
Andrew Brackett. If you guys remember Andrew Brackett, he fell off the complete map. Della Matanzas.
Yep.
Obviously a pen guy, but never could last as a starter.
And then why is his name escaping me? He's Caprillion. So we know he's coming on. We draft James Caprillion. We let him go, and now he kicks ass.
Yeah, now he's doing good.
What are they doing? What the hell are they doing?
And the problem with this team is that they can't settle on who a guy is. It's funny. Michael Kay all year on his show was saying, well, Jonathan Loáisiga should be a starter. No, he shouldn't. Leave him where he is. This kid should be a very good closer in the Yankees. He is that talented. You stop messing with these guys. Now, what you could do is put him in that position and let him stay there. Mid-season, you can use some of these guys at the pen, but you got to know ways of using them and keep them in a position like that. Luis Severino, for an example, you gave him all that money. You got to really figure out what to do with this guy. Mm-hmm. At this point, you got to really figure out what you do with Luis Severino. I see people tell me all the time, well, if they miss, at least they got Severino. But for what? He hasn't pitched since 2018. You're going to depend on this guy to be a number 2? You got to be out your mind. That is not the way to do business. And let me tell you something. That is not the Yankee way of doing business. You can't do that. That's a poor man's team of doing business. Yep. We're getting our ace back that hasn't pitched in 3.5 years. We're getting him back now, so we're good.
Yeah.
I hope he fits in there. It's not the way it goes.
No, it's not. L.A. Lou, thank you, brother. By the way, we were talking. Listen to me. I can talk. We're talking with Pete Simonetti from NYY News on YouTube. If you guys haven't done so, do me a ball. Hit the like button. That always helps out all the streams. Get the likes up. I know where we're at, but hit the like button. It's free. It's the best way to support the channel. Make sure you go into the description. The link to Pete's channel is right there. He'll be covering the New York Yankees for you all off season. Obviously, great channel over there. As you can tell, the man knows his shit, which is always good. So make sure you guys go down there and subscribe. L.A. Lou says, right now, who could the Yankees realistically sign or trade to help this team? I'll let you do that. I know you mentioned Wilson Contreras, which I think would be a great guy for us to get. But what do you think? Well, my wife texted me, so let me check what this is.
Yeah, no, definitely. We're not out the water yet. You know what I mean? Trust me, I'm as mad as everybody else is. But all off season, I've been talking about this. There's a plan. There could be a 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, 1E, and the list goes on and on because there's so much available. The thing is, they got to be willing to move guys. Can you imagine if news comes out? Let's just shoot the shit here.
Okay. Matt
Olson ends up going to, let's say, Boston, because Boston was willing to give up a little more. And Boston doesn't have a good enough farm system as the Yankees do. But let's just for the hell of it, they give up a little more. We come to find out, well, the Yankees weren't willing to include Oswald Peraza in the deal. And the reason I say this happened before. The Yankees did this the very first time they tried to get Garrett Cole. They would not give up. Here's the name. Everybody ready? Here's these 2 names. Look at this worked out. Clint Frazier and Chance Adams.
Chance Adams.
That's why it didn't happen. Okay? Then they also, well, even Cliff Lee, if you remember, they wouldn't give up, what's his name? The shortstop. That played Nunez.
Eduardo Nunez.
That stopped the deal. The deal was done. They said, we got a done deal. We just want Nunez. The Yankees said, nope. Cliff Lee couldn't get him. Robbie Ray, just a few years ago. They also, again, wouldn't give up Clint Frazier, who was released and is now with the Cubs, trying to bounce back to potentially never being who anybody expected him to be. But here's the thing. You do got Wilson Contreras, who would be a great deal. And Tyler, you're spot on. And I'm reading it right here. So, Matt, I'm sorry, but I'm reading it right now.
Yeah, it's just funny that we led right into Wilson Contreras there.
Yeah, but it leads right into Wilson Contreras. But the Yankees have to be serious. They have to be serious about moving on from certain guys. And they have to be serious about signing guys. Trevor Story is going to end up maybe getting less than expected. You know, that's a possibility. The good thing I like about Story, too, is that Trevor Story is athletic. You could see this guy can move around if you need him to. He could do that. Correa, I don't know if the Yankees go to that money. There's already rumors you're looking at 350 plus potentially. Yeah. I don't know if the Yankees are willing to do that. We'll see. Again, I reported very early on, and then it became a regular thing. I was told by 4 people who I really respect. One of them a former beat writer who knows his shit. He told me flat out, Pete, if you're expecting him to sign a major contract, they are not going to do it. They're not going to do it. And now you hear about them going after the guy, IKF. I can't pronounce his name, but the shortstop.
Karner Falefa.
Yes, Karner Falefa. Going after him. Also talking about Andrelton Simmons. Okay, this is where they are right now. But Tyler, you hit it a bit on the head. Wilson Contreras will be a terrific pickup. Sign Story, that would be great. We still got options. VR or Camargo, who was just released. Those all make a ton of sense. Matt Olson and Medaya, I think, would be terrific. But you got to give up what it takes in those moments.
Yep.
And that's the thing for Brian Cashman. Will he do that? Will he give up enough to land these guys? Because everybody in this thing is right. I see some people saying it's early. It is early still. But look what's off the board and what they came off the board for. That's the scary thing.
Yeah.
Marte, like I said, would have been terrific. We let him walk. He didn't get a gigantic contract that the Yankees can't afford. Robbie Ray, $23 million, never would have stopped the Yankees. Not even back in the day when guys were getting less.
Yep.
And I even said this about Robbie Ray. If Robbie Ray's ERA went up to 4, okay, but he pitched 170 innings minimum, he's worth trading for. Because he's going to strike out over 200 batters easily. And that's what the Yankees need behind a guy like Cole, who, by the way, is going to have a shit ton of pressure on him to perform this year.
Yes.
It would have been nice, and it would be a pretty good idea to go out there and get somebody behind him. But I agree that there is time. Who knows how long this is going to go? But the Yankees got to make the moves, and that's all it comes down to. I talk about this a lot too when it comes to teams like the Dodgers and the Yankees. The Yankees have a great thing. They got prospect capital and they have money. Mm-hmm. They have the best of both worlds. This team should be able to go out there and get who they want when they want them, and they can, but they're not doing it.
Yep.
That's it. That hits the nail on the head right there. That's all there is to it. They can trade for just about anybody.
Right. That's why it's so frustrating. But thank you, Tyler, for a super chat. I appreciate you. Easy does it. Thank you. He says, I'm ashamed to be a Yankee right now. I hate our management. You know what's funny? I don't even know if I mentioned this because I think I started doing, then I kind of forgot. Somebody actually, when I put this on my community notes today about you coming on the channel, us doing this at 9 o'clock, somebody said, I've never seen anybody love the Yankees as much as Baddog, and at the same time, hate the Yankees as much as Baddog does. Because, yes, I say it all the time. I hate what this team has become. All of a sudden, we're pinching pennies. All of a sudden, we're settling for just getting into the wild card, losing to Boston, watching Boston make all these moves, watching everybody make these moves, getting outbid by the Seattle Mariners. These things don't. Watching the Mets make all the moves, making the big names.
Bad, you know it as much as I do. It never would have happened. Right? Never would have happened. You would have had to kill George to make him not make a reactionary move to that. And look, would it have been cute? Maybe not. But he would have done it because moves.
We got Kagawa because the Red Sox got Daisuke Matsusaka. Kagawa was getting $46 million to be a minor league pitcher.
Yeah.
But George didn't care because he's like, oh, whatever. Go out and get another one. Go out and get somebody else.
Exactly. George said flat out, it's my money. My fan base wants it. They deserve it. I deserve. When George Steinbrenner, there's an interview he did recently. I said, not recently. My God, rest his soul. But it was an interview back in the day when they're asking about winning. And he just answers the question so brilliant. He said flat out, I'm a fan. I broke many TVs in my life. And George, yes, of course, he's a fan of the club. Steinbrenner, the son, is not a fan of the club. Hank was a lot more like George. And I actually have serious knowledge about this, thankfully. And I think that's going to come out. There's a book being written, by the way, about Hank Steinbrenner. And it's a lot of what I know about it so far, some of the stories in it, they're terrific. It's terrific. And it's amazing because he was a lot more like his father. Rest his soul, too. He's a lot more like his father. Hal is very, very different than these guys. He is very, very different. He's an economics guy, big time. He doesn't necessarily see the value in big contracts. And by the way, I don't totally disagree. I don't think the Yankees should have what their payroll is right now and have the shit they have on it. But guess what? They've spent the money in the wrong places. You have this year coming up. You have Aroldis Chapman and Zach Britton making over $30 million combined. That is batshit crazy. And you've heard nothing about trading one of these guys.
Nope.
You've heard nothing about doing the things like that. They refuse to do them. So you know what? It's right. We sit back, we relax, and look what we're going to do as fans. We're going to react. Don't let somebody tell you you're not allowed to react in a bad way. You could be pissed off. You could say, I don't care if it's early. The Yankees missed out on all these guys. That's all there is to it. I'm an upset fan. You should be. You should be. You have every right to be so. But let's see what they do. And it's going to be very, very interesting after this passes, especially if the CBA, if the luxury tax is increased. Let's see what the excuses will then be.
Yeah. Yeah, I see Ricardo Colon says Loaizaga needs to be a closer. Yeah, the Yankees should try to ship Chapman and move Loaizaga into that role.
One of the smartest moves you could do. It's a 1-2. It's a money saver to put elsewhere.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Ruben, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. He says, Severino, we developed. Injuries have stalled his dominance. Yeah, thank you for dropping the link to Pete's channel in the chat, by the way. Yeah, I mean, Severino, but that's the thing. Like Severino, we can say that he looked really good at some point, but again, injuries kind of curtailed his career.
Yeah.
It's tough to say what's up. It sucks. Because when we first signed Severino, 4 years, $40 million, I'm like, God, that was a good deal.
Of course.
That was a good deal. Didn't end up being that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they gave Hicks 7 years, $70 million. I'm like, what? Didn't understand.
Yeah. The Hicks deal is terrible. And luckily, thankfully, it's only the $10 million. I hate saying thankfully, but thankfully it is because 7
years. That's the.
And you can, he's playing winter ball now. He doesn't look good. I see Yankee fans posting these clips of him. He looked like when you remember when Bernie Williams tried to come back for the World Baseball Classic, and you were like, Bernie, stop. It's done.
Yeah,
it's done. He looked like that, and he's still in his prime.
Yeah. I saw that he was overseas. I said, can we just leave him there, please?
Leave him there. Leave him there.
Hicks never had a prime.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like major leagues. Most of these guys are past the prime. Some of these guys never had a prime. That's Aaron Hicks.
Never had a prime. That's right. He can send him to the California Penal League.
Right. Exactly. Charlie Sheen had a better arm than half of our guys these days.
That's right. That's right.
Mike from the app, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. What about this dream lineup? LeMahieu, Reynolds, Judge, Olsen, Stanton, Correa, Gallo, Urshela, and Kelly. It involves a lot of trading and prospects.
Oh, man. You see something like that, and hey, you trade those guys, man. But do me a favor. Do me a favor, Mike. Can we switch LeMahieu and Reynolds and then LeMahieu and Correa? So let's do Reynolds, Correa. I like that a lot. Let DJ LeMahieu bat a little lower. Let him drive in those runs at the back of the order. Hit some double plays down there. All right. Carson Kelly, I love. That's another guy you get traded because anybody who knows the Arizona Diamondbacks, Dalton Varsho, is probably going to take over as their catcher. And Carson Kelly is legitimate. Guy gets injured every now and then, but Carson Kelly, let me tell you, major upgrade over Gary Sanchez. So is Wilson Contreras. Saw some people trying to shoot down Wilson Contreras. His WAR is about 3 better.
Yeah.
Some some of his defensive stuff, blah, 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 blah. Wilson Contreras, let me tell you something about him. When he came up, and I got some good friends in Chicago, I asked them questions about this. They said, Pete, all you need to know about Wilson Contreras, when he came up, he told the guys, there's going to be no rookie hazing on me. One reason why, because I'm going to win with this team and I'm going to be here for a long time as a winning player. Okay? That's the mindset. And he's a hard ass. He's very serious. That's what the Yankees need more of that. And let me tell you something. Let's see how it would go if Garrett Cole said, he's not catching me. Trust me.
Yeah.
He wouldn't just sit down and say, I'm out the lineup. He would fight his way and say, all right, we're going to fix this shit. I'm in the lineup. What's the problem here? Gary Sanchez is happy to be out. Come on.
Yeah, I forgot. You talk about go after the beat writers, let them know how you feel. I forgot who posted that on Twitter that they tendered Gary Sanchez a contract, and I put fantastic. So we got a 200 hitting catcher that strikes out 35% of the time. It doesn't hustle. He can't run the bases. He's lazy. And our ace don't want to throw to him. And he's a 171 postseason hitter. Yankee fans know this better than anybody, at least if you're, my age or a little younger than me or older than me. In New York, the regular season don't matter here. The postseason matters.
That's right.
This is why Giancarlo Stanton, I don't want to hear anybody boo him. Giancarlo Stanton carried. He was like 2 inches from 3 homers against the Red Sox today. He tore the cover off the ball.
Who was it? Him and Judge. Him and Judge are the only ones that showed up at the top of the order. That's it.
But
he did everything he could.
I just look at A-Rod, right? A-Rod won 2 MVPs here. In 2005, he hit 48 homers, drove in 130, hit over 300. In 2007, he hit 56 home runs, drove in 154, won MVP, and he was not good against Cleveland. And he was not good against the Angels in 2005. And A-Rod's thing was he sucks in the postseason. He chokes. This is all you hear. He chokes. Then in 2009, he finally had his moment. He had big home runs against, hit the big home run against the Twins to tie the game in game 2. He hit the big home run in extra innings against the Angels in the ALCS to tie the game. He drove in 18 runs in that postseason. He had a big home run against Philadelphia. I forgot what game it was. Then he had the big double in the 9th inning. A-Rod was great, and he did finally step up. But then, you know what? People forgot because I want to say 2012, when he got, was it 2012 when he got benched for Raul Ibanez and Ibanez
Ibanez and the home runs, yes. Great series, by the way. Terrific series.
That was. But that goes to show you how important the postseason is here. No matter how good you are in the regular season, people remember that. So Stanton's postseason, and even the year before, it was really good. We just need and another thing, you can have guys that hit 220 and strike out 108 times. If they hit 35, you can have a Gallo. You can have a Gallo in your lineup.
Of course
you can't have 4 Gallos in your lineup. That's too many empty bats.
Well, Ben, that's why I said earlier, for the people that talk about, well, what about Gary's the bullshit idea of this production? Joey Gallo does that. You just traded him. He wasn't in the original 2021 lineup. So there goes your extra production that you want so badly. Get us a catcher that could catch the damn ball, please. I've never wanted a Joe Girardi so bad. I never wanted a Joe Girardi again, not as a manager, as a friggin' catcher again. That type. Please, somebody that can catch the ball. Jacob Stallings was the perfect get. The perfect get. And I spent about a year and a half begging for it. And he goes to the Marlins.
You start off the stream mentioning this, and it's a fact. Defense is valuable. Defense saves runs.
Yep.
Gary Sanchez, how many? There was the one against the Orioles where he had the pass ball and ended up winning. Why the hell couldn't we beat the Orioles? Orioles are terrible. They beat us 7-8 times this year. That was a difference in the division.
I'm serious, and I know a lot of fans don't like to hear this. I blame that on leadership. I blame that on Boone.
That's the same thing.
I really do, because I'm sorry. There is something to it. There is something to it when your team just doesn't look like they're ready. They don't want to play.
Nope.
When you go out there, where's the spark plug at? Where's the benching guy? If you can't, where is all that at? It's not there. You saw this team go, like you said. I think the American League is, I forgot the number. They had 8 wins against the Yankees. 8. 8 wins against the Yankees. This team barely won anything all year.
Yep.
They had 8 victories against the Yankees. It's
and
a joke.
Pay was like 18-1 against them.
Yeah.
Something crazy like
Disgusting.
that. And I say this all the time, man. A team in any sport takes on the persona of its head coach. If you have I look at the Knicks are not as talented as a lot of teams in the NBA, but Thibodeau is a fighter. He's tough.
Yeah.
He makes them tough. They play their ass off every night, as they did for Pat Riley, as they did for Jeff Van Gundy, because those guys were fiery guys that got the most out of their players. Boone, I say it all the time, he's a lazy, gutless flab. He is Gary Sanchez personified. He is Gleyber Torres. He is just
That's right. If melatonin was a human, it would be Aaron Boone. Let me tell you right now, if melatonin was a human, it would be Aaron Boone. This guy is unbearable. You watch him after games, you want to break your screen. I had to turn him off at the end. I told my team, I can't see this guy anymore. I'm on the live chat. And you know us, at times we get excited sometimes very easy. We get a little hyped up. When the guy's face came on the screen, I started yelling. I said, Pete, what the hell is the first? I said, I can't even see the guy no more. I'm at the point I can't look at him. I can't. If I saw him on the street, I'd chase him. I can't anymore. All year you heard the Bullwood turning. Since 2018, they've been turning the corner. Who's turning this corner?
Yeah.
Shaka Khan?
Yeah.
Who's turning the corner?
Yeah, well, listen, I think my man Josie McFly said it best. You can't turn a corner when you're going in circles.
That's right.
You can't turn a corner when you're
going. You might also walk into a lot of walls if you're doing it blindfolded, because that's what it looks like they're doing.
Ruben, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. Says payroll for the Yankees. If you take out Andujar, Britton, Hicks, Voit, or Shella, replace Sanchez with Contreras is $165 million. There is money available. Just find the moves to do it, and that's what Cashman needs to do. That's Cashman's job.
And I tell you, throughout the even towards the end of the school year, end of the year, I did that a lot. I was saying that all the time. There's a lot of guys that just, at the end of the day, if you lose, it's really not a big deal. There's just some guys that don't really fit, that they can save a boatload of money, and they haven't done it. They really haven't done any of that yet. None of it. And there's also the article from Newsday now that came out that also said that at the owners' meeting, Cashman and Hal Steinbrenner were trying to get the other owners to agree to not sign anybody yet until after. Yep. Even the article says they look like the fools in the room. It's pathetic.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Jonathan actually said yes. Jonathan Alvarez said yes. Boone does that while picking his nose. That's true.
It's true.
He does pick his nose.
No, he's always digging for something up there.
Pick his nose.
Maybe he can dig some wins out of there.
Easy does it. Says, remember when you hit 198, you got sent down. This is a fact.
You may
the
not.
The Mendoza line was embarrassing. If you hit like Mario, for you younger fans that don't know, Mario Mendoza was a guy back in the day before computers. They used to have the stats in the Sunday paper, and they would show all the leaders. And inevitably, Mario Mendoza was always at the bottom for qualified hitters. He was a light hitting shortstop. I forgot who he played for. I don't know if it was the Reds. I forgot exactly who he played for. But they would say the Mendoza line was 200, which in his defense, his career average was like 214. But if you hit that, you were embarrassed. At one point this year, the Yankees fielded a starting lineup with 5 players hitting below 200.
Oh, disgusting.
You are not going to win games.
No.
Home runs. No, you have
especially against good pitching.
If you don't put the ball in play, you can't say a strikeout is an empty at bat. Someone's like, well, somebody tried to tell me in one of my streams a strikeout and a pop-up are the same thing. I said, you're a fool. You pop the ball up, guy could drop it, a runner could advance.
We've seen guys win games on drop pop-ups.
Yeah.
We've seen, look at Luis Castillo the time against the Yankees. A-Rod pops it up against what's his face?
Yeah, the Mets.
Yeah, and look at that, and you win a ball game. You're right. Putting the ball in play in situations is key. It's key. A lot can happen.
It's insane that people like strikeouts. I always say, and I don't know if he was the first guy, but the guy that I always use as an example, was Ryan Howard. I felt like Ryan Howard was the first guy that could strike out 230 times because he hit 50 homers and nobody cared. And I feel like that was the first guy where these guys now, it doesn't, why does that camera keep doing that? Where these guys, hit 210, but they hit 38 homers. Dave Kingman would have killed it in today's game.
Oh, yeah.
Dave Kingman played for like 8 teams because he couldn't make contact. But he
some of these guys make Adam Dunn look good.
Right. Yeah.
For what their overall numbers look like.
Yeah. Michael Caputo says, why is Joey Gallo on the scene? Because we needed a left-handed bat. And that was the other thing, Pete. Brian Cashman constructed this team so poorly. How do you go into the regular season with 8 right-handed hitters and a switch hitter in Aaron Hicks as your lefty? And then there was Gardner. How do you got the Yankee Stadium is built, but you want to win with home runs, and you put a whole right-handed hitting team in Yankee Stadium? What the hell kind of ass backwards thinking is that? Oh, we played.
The idea was, that's an analytic thing. The idea was, look, these guys are all launch angle type guys, and right field is small, and they all hit the ball to the opposite field well. It didn't work. It backfired. Because what did you see all year? Right-handed pitching dominated them.
Yep.
Then guess what? Baseball's a little different nowadays than it was years ago, where your bullpens are throwing 99 and 100 miles an hour. Everybody out of those things are doing this.
Yep.
So when you got something like that, when it gets late in games even, you're facing these guys, these dominating right-handed pitchers all year, every game. And it showed out the gate. Immediately it showed it was going to be an issue.
Yep, that's why he had to go out and get Gallo. I didn't want Gallo. Rizzo, I was happy with. Not that I have a problem with Gallo.
Hates him. I
don't have a problem with Gallo. I have a problem with the fact that we have 4 other Gallos on this team.
That's exactly what my father says.
That's my problem with Gallo. Not that he hits 210 and he hits 35 homers and strikes out 200 times. I don't care. But when you have so many guys like that already, you can't build a team of Gallos.
Yep.
You need a couple of your guys. Gallo would be a perfect 6th place hitter in a lineup where, hey, you put your lower average power hitting guy there right before the bottom third of the order. But you want guys in front of him. He's like an extra cleanup hitter. He's kind of an all or nothing guy. That's fine, but you can't have a bunch of those. That does not work. And we see it. This is the thing. The Yankees are not winning. Not the way they should be anyway. They're regressing. They're falling farther and farther away from the World Series. We were 1 game from the World Series with Girardi there. We haven't got that close since Boone took over. Oh, Baddog, you won 204 games in the regular season. Again, in New York, you judge on what you do in the postseason, not in the regular season.
Yep. Well, this is interesting. It's funny we're talking about the offseason. I actually just got a message from somebody I really trust, so I'll put it out there. The Yankees are actually very much in on Freddie Freeman. Believe it or not, they're actually and the guy. What my message is that the Yankees are very much in on him, and he said it's up to Freddie. So it's basically up to Freeman. So that is actually very, very interesting to hear.
That is, I heard that. One of the guys that I follow on YouTube is a Braves fan, Sports Lab Detail. He does all Atlanta sports, and he made a video about that. And I just put on there, I'm like, the Yankees are just doing their due diligence. I'll be surprised if Freddie's not back in Atlanta. I really thought that's all they were doing. I love Freddie Freeman. I was talking about him in the postseason that this guy is a professional hitter. He's a ball player. We need more Freddie. We need Freddie Freeman on this.
And guess what he is now? He's a winner. I talked about that too. I said, get some guys that have been there and have won there.
Yes.
Get some winners on this team.
Yep.
Get some guys that are actually winners.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens there. But here they're in, the belief is that he will leave Atlanta. The belief is that Freddie Freeman is not just saying, I'm going to stick in Atlanta. The belief is that he will move on from there. We've seen it. Look, nobody expected Max Scherzer to go to New York. Everybody said he's a West Coast guy. He's not going to New York. He went to New York.
I agree. I never thought he was going to New York.
I think in the offseason, if somebody goes, Max Scherzer's going to New York, everybody's like, oh, shit, the Yankees are getting him. You know what I mean? That's how it usually would be. But no, that's very interesting to me. And again, I don't think it would be anything that could happen today because of the CBA is going to kick in. But confirmation, person I got it on gave me information to, and Noah Syndergaard signed. I was obviously way ahead on that one. But I believe this very much. So definitely the Yankees actually have legitimate interest in Freddie Freeman.
Oh, that's good because I would be very happy with that. Roby says missed out on Michael Brantley twice. Michael Brantley would have been a great player for the Yankees.
Would have been terrific.
Great. Rubens, this is this is true. I don't like the strikeouts, but if you're hitting 270, I can deal with you striking out 200 times. It is the 200 hitters that, people told me one time, I remember this, no lie. I had one guy tell me one time, he said, guy told me RBIs are overrated.
Oh, my goodness. They always say the batting average now is
But
like a
somebody told
scary
me
thing
about-
to talk about.
Somebody told me about Gary Sanchez batting balls in play is just average. Gary Sanchez this year batting balls in play was 230. Okay,
Right.
He can't hit. So yeah, give me a guy that hits 270 and strikes out 200. I can deal with 270. Means he's getting on base outside of hitting home runs. Means he's getting singles. L.A. Lou, thank you, buddy. He always makes a great point. L.A. Lou will say, "Give me 4 singles over a solo home run any day."
100%.
Put men on base, put pressure on the pitcher, make him work out of the stretch. That's how you get to a pitcher. And a lot of times you can be having a nice rally, and as great as a 3-run homer is, sometimes it kills a rally. Sometimes a home run kills a rally.
That's
Well,
correct.
I would much rather put together 4 or 5 consecutive hits and score 2 runs, 3 runs, as opposed to a walk, a hit, and then a 3-run home. Get the guys on base, make the pitcher work.
Make that, and that is very much key of making the pitchers work. That's something the Yankees they don't do enough of anymore. Aaron Judge does a great job of it. There's guys on the team that do it, but especially at the top of the order. Remember in 2009, no pitcher lasted 5 innings against the Yankees.
No.
Everyone, even Nick Swisher, Teixeira, Cano,
Matsui.
Jeter, of course, Damon, Matsui is one of the most professional hitters I've ever seen. I love Matsui. How many times would Matsui just flick the ball to left field?
Clutch.
He'd keep getting those outside pitches and boop, flick it to left field, get a base hit.
Not to mention, he owned Pedro, which was my favorite.
Oh,
he destroyed Pedro.
He was the hero. He was the hero of the World Series. And what did the Yankees do to him after it? They said, bye-bye.
Yep.
See you later.
Yeah.
Disgraceful.
Yeah.
Disgraceful.
He was awesome. But he always owned Pedro. It was a beautiful thing. But L.A. Lou says Dave King was a nomad. He did 3 things every season: hit home runs, strike out a lot, and look for a new team next season. Yeah, he was around a lot. But listen, man, it's 10:30. I don't want to keep Pete here too much longer. I actually want to get some sleep as well. I mean, I know Pete is going to be doing a lot of work. And you said where are you going tomorrow?
Tomorrow I'm actually headed. I'm going to actually be seeing. I'll give the Yankee fans a little scoop. I'd be hanging out with Anthony Volpe a little bit.
There you go.
We'll see where that goes. But
I'm making moves over here.
It's an event, so I'm sure there'll be a lot of pictures with a lot of guys over there, and hopefully, fingers crossed, NY News TV launches in January, and maybe we'll have a pretty nice interview for you guys.
One last time, if you guys haven't done so, please subscribe to NYY News TV on YouTube. Link in the description below. I'm going to end it with this because Ruben, I couldn't have said this better myself. I don't think anybody could say it better. Batted balls in play are an expectation stat. Batting average is a result stat. Results are greater and matter.
That's right.
Results are all that matters. He is absolutely correct.
100% correct. 100%
Ruben,
correct.
I appreciate the super chat. You didn't need a super chat, though, buddy. You didn't need to read that. But you're absolutely right. But Pete, I really appreciate you coming on the channel again. I would love to work with you again, man. I think you do a great job on your channel. I'm glad that we found each other on here because I've talked about it before. This year with the Yankees, I started doing more Yankee content videos, and I definitely wanted to look forward to it. And I don't know, outside of Josie McFly, I really didn't know a lot of Yankee content creators.
Right.
So I'm glad I was able to find your channel. You do great work. You call it like it is. Fans are going to respect that because that's
all it's about. Our tagline is "Real talk for the real fan." That's that simple, and that's what we're looking to do in a time where you're not getting a lot of that, unfortunately. So we will be here for it.
Are you old enough to remember this? Everyday Meacham and Barrett. You're not old enough to remember.
No, I'm not old enough for that one.
So I was 9 when that happened. That's a game against the Chicago White Sox where both Bobby Meacham and Dale Berra got thrown out at home plate. They both got tagged out by
the same
they
play.
doubled by Ricky Henderson, which went over the center fielder's head 400.
Yeah, I've seen that play way back then. Yeah, back then it's way back.
I remember that happening. That was the first year I started watching the Yankees in '84, and I was 8. I fell in love with them in 1985. Like I always. The Yankees, people ask me all the time, what is your favorite team of all the teams you root for? And I'm always like, it's the Yankees. And I always go back to 85, going to the ballpark with my dad and my grandfather. There's something about walking out of the tunnel, that green grass, the crack of the bat, the smell of the hot dogs and the beer vendors. And there's something special about the Yankees to me. It's nostalgic. In that 85 season, they won 97 games. They obviously lost out to the Blue Jays in the last week of the series. Mattingly won the MVP, and I was hooked. I mean, 1985, I'll never forget it. It was a very special year for me, but that just made me laugh thinking about that. So I'm not going to keep that long. I'm going to get out of here because Pete, I can talk. We're Italian, so I know we can do this. I appreciate you coming on the channel. Again, thank you, everybody.
Anytime.
That came in and hung out tonight. Really appreciate you guys. Had great questions, great comments. And like I said, go over there. Definitely check out Pete, and hopefully we can work together soon. All righty. So for Pete Simonetti, it's the Bad Diggity Dizzle. Enjoy your night, everybody. We go.